Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over my first trade of the week. It is Monday, March 30th. I am short Euro AUD, down about 30 pips. I just closed a little bit of this trade, about half of it, just to take off some of the risk as this is pulling against me, pulling me into drawdown, heading towards my stop loss. Now, if you're here on the channel often, you see a lot of my trade recaps. You know I post all of these videos here for you guys to study, and you see that I am taking the same repeatable signals, the A1, the D1, and the D2. But no matter how perfect a setup may be, no strategy wins 100% of the time. That's what you need to take out of this video, because what I'm about to show you here is a great A1 setup and a great risk reward opportunity that we were all in our VIP chat. Everybody liked the idea with me. We all decided to put the risk on, and that's why we're in this trade. But still, even though it was great, even though no one could really find anything wrong with it, it still could present as a loser. It still could be a trade that does take a little bit of our profit from the last couple of weeks back. But the outcome of this individual trade is very insignificant, and that's really what I want to drive home to you guys today here. We're talking about process over result. The short-term result of any one trade should not matter at all. You should never have so much risk on one trade that it can make or break your career, make or break your account. Instead, you should be focused on the series of trades that you're going to take over a month, or even better, a year. And out of all of those trades, do you think you're going to remember the one loser on Monday, March 30th? No. By May 30th, you're not even going to remember this trade if you handle it well, if you get out of it the right way, if you follow your rules and you don't blow your account. But if you break your rules and you don't trade within edge and you fall into those patterns that we all have fallen into as amateur traders, then you're going to remember this day because it's going to stick with you as a huge loss. So what I want to drive home here is that we're going to focus on the process in this trade. That's why I closed half of it as it's moving against me. I'm going to talk to you about that. It's called regressive risk. And we're also going to focus on the idea that we're moving on to the next one good trade, regardless of the outcome, win or lose here. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Austin Silver. I appreciate you being here. Let's turn over to TradingView. As like I said, we're down about 30 pips. The stop loss is about 35. So we're getting close to the stop on the rest of the position. But I want to pull up the 15-minute here and show you what I liked about the setup from the beginning. And literally right there, as I was just switching the screens over, I just got stopped out on the rest of the trade. So you can see here, I am no longer in the position. So let's just take a look. To start the week here, you see the period separator. That's this vertical dotted line here. We can measure our Asian range, which is about 182 pips. So it's pretty massive. But what I want to point out about this Asian range is that we respected that low now 3 times, this price here of 179.90, basically. So to see the respect of that 3 times, I'm not going to just jump back in a short trade here. I'm going to wait for the next one good trade, wait for the next thing that follows my system, like I said to you already, and then I'll consider following the same bias and taking it short again. I would never just jump in this thing and buy it either, because that wouldn't be following my rules. That would just be an emotional reaction to getting stopped. So again, the Asian session kind of created this low that seems to be the level we're respecting, but overall, EMAs are in a downtrend, TDIs in the sell zone. If we go to the higher time frame, 1 hour here, TDIs in the sell zone, EMAs tell us that we are coming down towards the 800 EMA overall. So short term here on the 1 hour, the 50 and the 200 are short biased, but because the 800 is underneath us on the 1 hour, that means it's probably going to be in an overall uptrend, as you see here on the higher time frame on the 4 hour. 800 is below, then the 200. TDI is falling, but overall here on the 4 hour, this is an uptrend, and then you see on the daily, this is in an uptrend as well, just overbought. But that's because the euro pairs got kicked up as the dollar got destroyed back in, end of February into the beginning of March. So again, the short bias was very clear based on the 15-minute EMAs, based on the 15-minute TDI, and that's what I liked. Plus, you had the move short here on Friday. You remember I traded this a little bit in here on Friday, back in here off the 50 EMA, so the same kind of bias is there. And that's why I just said to the VIP chat that I'm still going to look for another re-entry here off the 50 EMA as the day goes on. But win or lose, this trade doesn't impact my decisions going forward. Each decision has to be separate from itself, and what that idea comes from is the one good trade mentality that Mike Bellafiore from SMB Capital teaches. And I feel like that is what really changed the game for my trading, was that I can take a loss, not have to react right away to something else, and then just find the next one good trade. But I can only do that if I have good risk management, if I'm not losing my ass on these trades. No matter how good the setup is, you can still have a loser. You have to understand that. You can't think that every trade you take, especially every A trade you take, really great A setups, you can't think that they're all going to be winners. You're going to get blown out, even if you're right for a certain period of time. Like you guys have seen, I've been killing it. I don't like to ever say that or brag or anything, but I've been killing it the last 3 months. You can't let that confidence come in and be like, oh, I've been killing it, I can't be wrong. See here how quickly I was like, no, take half the trade out, get stopped at full, find the next entry. Next. That's the one good trade mentality. Now, let me flip you over to the 1 minute and just show you how I managed. So from when we took our entry, you can see we did move into profit pretty well. It held the 8 and the 21 as it should and kept that 1 minute TDI down here in the sell zone. So if we measure that, you're looking at from the entry with about a 35 pip stop, about a 30 pip drop, 28 pip drop. So almost 1 R. But then it ends up pulling back a little higher here, you see, and building some of what I like to call 1 minute divergence, because the RSI was falling on the short term here, price action was rising. But then when it broke back through the divergence here, you see the RSI comes through, price action comes through. That's where I closed half of it. It came back down, couldn't hold underneath here, and then it just stopped me out with the rest of it here. But it's important to note that even saving the little bit of pips here, saving that little bit of money, taking half the trade here and then the other half here, that saves you money. And that keeps me further away from my max daily loss limit that if I hit that number, then I have to stop trading. So because I was able to take a piece out and then get stopped on the full thing, then get stopped at the stop loss without the full position on, just half of it, that little bit of money does add up and keeps me in the game longer today, is what I'm trying to say. That's the regressive risk, not getting stopped out at the full stop with the full position size. But now, because we have this 1 minute coming to this significant level of the 15-minute 50 EMA, let's go over this chart. We know that off the 1 minute 50 EMA, we could see it hold and come lower with a TDI and EMA setup like this. So I'm not done today. I'm going to keep watching, but I'm done with this trade. And I hope that you found some value here, seeing the idea of one good trade, seeing the idea of process over result. I know it's so stupid to say because we're all in this to make money, but if you focus on the money, you're going to get burned. If you focus on the process, you're going to make way more money than you could have ever imagined because you're going to win, and wins compound. Your account gets bigger, your trades get bigger, your size gets bigger, your risk dollar-wise can get bigger, not risk percent-wise. Make sense? I hope it does. If it doesn't, please drop a comment down below. I'm really here to help you guys. I hope you learn from my losers. And you see, I'm not immune to losses. You take them, keep them small, and then come back and make that money back. I'm not done today, like I said. So you might see another video come up after this one that shows you the second trade of the day here. It might be on EurAud, it might be on another pair, but I'm gonna go find the next one good trade. So again, I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any future videos, and I'll see you all in the next trade. So I'm back. Instead of splitting the video into 2 separate videos with 2 separate trades, I'd rather show you the full idea. The first loss now coming into my second trade of the day, because I'm trading the same pair here with the same bias. And I think that's another important point that you guys can take out of this video. Not only am I following that idea of one good trade, really following the systems, but I'm also keeping the bias, keeping my conviction, sticking to my beliefs really, even after taking a loss. And that's something valuable that I would take if I was, 5 years younger in the trading business. From someone that's been in the industry, I would look at them and say, okay, he's sticking to his bias, he's sticking to his rules. I need to find rules that I can stick to because that's what's leading to success. Again, you've heard me say it multiple times. Very rarely are we wrong. More often we're early. That's because we're putting probabilities in our favor. So that means, yeah, you might take a loss here or there, but more times than not, you're going to come out profitable. So here I am up 17, about 20 pips or so on the first position. I added in a little small position here on that second entry right at about break even right now. But the idea here is to go in and cover the earlier losses, those 2 positions that took about a 1.3% loss from me, and I'm going to try to cover that and end the day profitable with this position. So let's go to TradingView here. You can see we are trading it again short off the 50 EMA. Now that's the same idea that we were in this morning, but this morning we were a little lower. And the reason for that was because I woke up late, but I still thought that that could be the push for the move. But that is, one of the costs of doing business. You have to be willing to be wrong on your timing, but right in your direction to then just say, hey, get me out, let me get back in with a better price. That's what I have here. I'm actually selling it from a higher price, which is a better price to sell it at. And now with this 8 and 21 EMA cross, I'm looking for this to go candle by candle, 15 minute by 15 minute, outside the yellow 8 EMA. TDI looks fantastic to see this thing come lower. And now if we go to the 1 minute even, I'm going to show you we have some divergence in here that helps me think not only could this be an A1 entry with that shift, but we also have a falling RSI slightly and rising price action. That's divergence. That is a D1 entry setup with the break that we look for to then see this come lower. Now I'm going to watch this on the 1 minute the same way that I watched the 15 minute, candle by candle, to see if it holds the 8 and the 21. Since I got back in, look what it's been doing. Holding the 8 and the 21, the red and the yellow lines. And even what I'll do sometimes, I was talking about this on the Black Shirt call yesterday. That's our private call that we do for a small group of, I would call them elite traders in our VIP chat, because these are the people that are like 5, 6, 7 figure traders. We were talking just about making things simple. Like, look, less is more. Watch the 8 and the 21. Let's see how far this thing goes. I'll keep the other EMAs off here on my 1 minute just for you guys in this video, just to show you how less really is more. Let me turn them off on this side so I can keep both sides open. So I'll turn them off over there. I'll put them back on over here. If you don't know how I'm doing this so fast on the TradingView stuff, all you got to do is go to the channel here below. I literally have 3 new videos for you about how I use TradingView, so you definitely want to check those out. They're in the Start Here playlist, or just search Austin Silver ASFX TradingView and you'll find all 3. But like I said, 15 minute, 1 minute, we're watching it candle by candle to hold the 8 and the 21. Everything looks good right now, and if I pull up the FX Trade app, you see I'm up 30 pips from the first position and over 10, about 11 pips now from the second position. So it's 8:30, still early in the morning, still got plenty of time till even the New York Open starts. So I'll take it candle by candle. I'll come back on and update you guys. Let's see if we can cover and end the day profitable with good rules, good risk management, and good systems. That's what this comes down to. Good A1 entries, good D1 entries, solid rules that repeat. I feel like a broken record because I say much. Gotta stop cursing. But I hope that me repeating it so much is what drives it home to you. So, like I said, give me a little bit of time here. Let's give it a couple candles. We'll see how it plays out. All right, guys, it is just 1 minute after 9 o'clock. So as you can see, I am half out of the trade, a little bit more than that, actually. I closed enough of this trade a few minutes ago before the 9 o'clock candle close. I closed enough of it just to make sure that I covered those earlier 2 losses. So now on the day, I'm up just about 0.1%. Not the best winner, right? But I'm still working about 40% of the second entry here in profit, and I covered those earlier losses. So now I'm back to 0 for the day, which is awesome. And the stop loss on this trade is locked in profit, so I can't lose any money. So I went from a red day to now, at worst, a small blue day. At best, it could continue to fall that full 100 pips that I was looking for, and it could be exactly the trade that I thought it was going to be. So I want you guys to take out of this so far, and I'm going to come on and show you the end of it too whenever it finishes. But now look, I'm up 30. Look at it pushing now. I want you to take out of this the conviction behind the belief that this was going to be short biased because of what the indicators in our system were telling me, and then using good entry signals in our system, first an A1, then a D1, to then take good risk reward setups is all you need to do every day. And more often than not, if you're using a winning system, you're going to find trades like this. Now look at it pushing 40 pips. You see it picking up. That's the momentum that I was talking about. So we can give this plenty of time. The stop loss is locked. Even if it pins up, still a blue day. But if it wants to continue lower and hold this 15-minute 8 EMA outside that yellow line, then I'm going to give it all the time that it wants. My take profit is set way down here, and I'll take it off if I have to, if it comes down quick, just to give it the space. But remember, I showed you on the 15-minute before, if we could break the level of 179.75, we'd be good to go. We're breaking that now. If we can break 179.42, which was Friday's low, then I think we have even more space to move lower. Nothing really beneath you at that point to say it's going to stop. So you would just want to take it candle by candle. So I'll come back on in a little bit and show you guys how this plays out. But right now we're up 41, 45. Look at it. It's the gas on it. I could just sit here and let you guys watch the pips move. I knew it was going to be a good trade. Up 56 now. I got to take an Instagram story. So I'm just showing you guys this thing is tanking. Exactly what I thought as I'm making the recap video for you. Easy money. Up 60 now. So I'll come back on in a little bit. You don't need to sit here and watch this. I'll show you how it plays out. Okay, guys, it's 9:37. As you can see from the P&L here, I'm up about 100 pips in the position that I still have on. It's a very small piece of that second entry, but I'm going to also put the bigger P&L here on all the positions that I've closed, so you can see that I am well into profit now on the day because of my management on the second entry on Euro AUD short. I want you to take from this video not only how important it is to have conviction and belief in yourself and in your systems, but also to put that conviction behind good entry signals. It's not just about thinking, oh, I know I should be selling Euro AUD, so I need to get in every time I get stopped out, no matter what. Just get back in and sell it and just see if it's going to work. Don't have a stop loss, just get in, it'll work. It doesn't work like that over the long run. That might put money in your pocket some days and you're going to feel great. You're like, I got it, I knew I guessed right. But you need to put that conviction and that belief in the bias, instead of behind that emotion of a gamble, put it behind a tested signal, like an A1 or a D1 or a D2 entry. So this morning on the first trade, we had the D1 into the A1. It didn't develop. It tested that Asia low and ended up pulling back. But because we stayed in that structure that held from Friday, right, of lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, we held that 50 EMA, couldn't get back above it. As soon as we started to come back down, it ended up presenting another D1 entry into an A1 entry that has now pushed, as you can see, over 100 pips. So it worked out to be an awesome trade. And then on the 1 minute, again, the management idea was make sure you cover that loss. It dropped into profit. Now put yourself up for the day. Take a little bit more here just to make sure that we're well into profit on the day. Up, I'm pretty sure, I haven't looked at it because it hasn't reloaded yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm up almost 2% now, still running the piece that I still have on. So I think we're going to wrap the video up here because this could run for a while, and I would rather you just take the value out of what we're talking about here. You know the piece that I still have in here. The stop loss is locked, so I can't lose any money on this. It's a blue day. But the P&L for now is substantial enough for me to show you, like, take this value, take the signals, understand that if you can find the most probable setup, that was this one here today. There was a lot of ideas, but this was the most probable. You're going to get paid more times than not when you're following good signals. So it's 9:39. I'm going to manage the rest of this trade into the rest of the day, but we're going to wrap the video here. So I appreciate the time. I appreciate you sitting through here. And if you found any value, if you enjoyed the video in any way, if you're going to apply some of the stuff we talked about to your own trading, just make sure you subscribe and give me a thumbs up because that is the best way you can say thank you. Drop a comment, say what's up, let me know where you're trading from. I'd love to talk to you, and I hope that you caught some of this Euro move with us. I mean, we were short EuroCAD, EuroAUD, everybody was able to make money here, so it's a good Monday. Tomorrow is our online seminar, so I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, we're going to keep the week rolling. So again, if you found any value, let me know, and I'll see you in the next trade.